Welcome back. I'd be interested to know what the ratings are going to look like for TNT's Wednesday Night Hockey tonight because neither of these games had any tension in them whatsoever. And then the TSN one that I watched in between, it's the only feed you get up here, there wasn't much tension in that one either. So this just ends up being kind of a bit of a long night, but I was able to put together a news video that will be posted after this one. So, yay. All right. So, that being said, let us get into the very not tension-filled games of the night. Starting off with the New York Rangers in against the Philadelphia Flyers. The Flyers, of course, getting destroyed yesterday by Washington. They played better today, I think, but the end result still ends up being kind of the same. So it's Georgiev versus Sandstrom in this one. Of course, that's Sandstrom by Darude. Early jump for the Flyers. 2 shots in the first minute for them. JVR has a net feed that's held. Hayes to Farabee. There's a poke check by Georgiev on that opportunity. Sanheim blasts one high. It's all Flyers. JVR fires one wide on a rush. The Rangers finally get some pressure at the 7-minute mark. Kreider's denied on a fast break, but the shots 9 minutes into this are 8-2 for the Flyers. Where the momentum starts to swing is Kakko hits a crossbar and then he scores. The next opportunity he gets from Gaudreau and Keandre Miller at 10:20. So that makes it 1-0. He wires it from the slot. That's the first goal Kakko's had in his last 14 games that he's played. Of course, he's been injured a lot this year too, so hopefully this is a sign another nightmare season for Kakko is starting to turn around. Tippett then has a net drive that wouldn't go, and the Rangers end up getting a power play. So that's an offensive zone penalty by the Flyers. You don't want to be doing that. Then we get a minute and 55 of 5-on-3. So as rough as this score looks, it could have been way worse. Things get kind of punchy after a save by Sandstrom. The Flyers do kill it off, but the shots have turned 10-9 in favor of the Rangers. The Rangers then press with 4.5 minutes left, but coming out of that first period, the score's 1-0 for New York, and the momentum's on their side. In the second, they mentioned that the Rangers are 21-4 when they lead after the first. That record kind of gets better today. Early Flyers power play, really strong penalty kill though by the Rangers. They do kill that off. We then get a press by the Flyers at 3.5 minutes. Lawton exited, which meant that they were down to 11 forwards. Vetrano has a rush chance that's saved, but then Kakko would score his second of the game from Hedel at 8:22. And halfway through the period, the shots are 4-3 in favor of the Rangers. There's a lot more opportunities in that second half, including at 11:03, Panarin scores from Trouba. And so all of a sudden it's 3-0. Gaudreau and Hayes both get 2 minutes for roughing, so it's not full on a fight. And then we get 2 minutes of 4-on-4 out of that. Konechny's denied from in close. Gaudreau has a rush chance that's saved. The Rangers get a power play. There was a shorthanded chance for Hayes that was saved, and that power play's killed off. So it's 3-0 Rangers going into the third. Early press by the Rangers. Zamula can't bury one in close. Zamula was called up today on an emergency basis. The Flyers with a lot of injury problems. Shots are 2-1 for Philadelphia at 7 minutes. We get Ranger fans chanting and Flyer fans booing in response. So rough overall night if you're the home team. Pressed by the Rangers then at 8.5 minutes. The Rangers at this point clearly content just to kill the clock. There's a lot of discussions too about how back in the day, if you went to Philadelphia and you're up 3-0, you would stop scoring because otherwise the Broad Street Bullies would not be very happy with you for embarrassing them in their own building and you might not come out alive. Schneider breaks up a 2-on-1 for Philly. The game went 11 minutes and 28 seconds without a whistle. So what's interesting is this game started about 5 minutes after this one, but by this game ends up finishing first because of that 11:28 without a whistle, which means that advertisers are mad because you lose at least one break there. Rangers press with 3.5 minutes left with 2:19 left. The Flyers get a power play, and so what are you going to do? You're down by 3, you've got a power play. Pull the goalie, try to score 6-on-4. That allows Kopp to hit the empty net from Gaudreau and Trouba at 18:07, and then the Rangers finish the kill. They win this one 4-0. They go to 48-21-6 with the win. The Flyers 23-40-11. Don't worry, Flyers fans, the nightmare season's nearly over. Your shots are 13-10 Rangers in the first, 13-12 Rangers in the second, 8-6 Rangers in the third. Final shots 34-28 for the Rangers. Power plays 0-3 for New York, 0-2 for Philly. The hits 33-22 for Philly. Georgiev saves all 28 shots for his 8th career shutout. He's had 2 shutouts every year in the NHL. Sandstrom 30 saves on 33 shots. I thought he played well, but again, they just couldn't score on Georgiev, who has really improved his game as of late. All right, moving on. Montreal. So in against Columbus, the Columbus Blue Jackets, of course, playing for some pride and with some new faces in the lineup. One of them gets on the board today. Montembeault versus Merzlikins in this one. Sillinger can't bury one. Columbus with the early jump. We then had too many Columbus Blue Jackets on the ice. The Habs get a power play, and it was actually a rookie jumping on the ice to throw a hit. I believe it was Blankenberg that comes on to throw a hit, and he was the extra guy. Then there's a shorthanded chance for Robinson that was saved just as that power play comes to an end. Columbus presses at 8 minutes. Eventually they score. It's Roslovic, who had a very good game. On the fourth shot of the game for Columbus, he scores from Laine and Gavrikov at 8:36. Habs press, but they're kept to the outside. Columbus then gets a power play. Roslovic's denied in close. There's a post for Voracek. That's killed off. There's a 2-on-1. Bjorkstrand hits the outside of the net. And in the final minute, there's a press by the Habs. But they don't get any shots during that. In fact, the Habs go without shots in the final 12 and a half minutes, roughly, in that first period. Columbus doesn't get any in the last 5 minutes. So it's an exciting shot-filled game. Honestly, 14 shots in the first, it doesn't show you just how quiet things were by the end of that period. Second period, Werenski's denied on his opening shift. Danforth tips one high. Columbus presses after that. Pitlick can't bury in close. Believe that was Rem Pitlick. Both Pitlicks were on the ice. And St. Louis gets more obnoxious by putting him on the same line later in the game. Gallagher gets the first Habs shot at 3.5 minutes, which of course combined with the 12th. That's about 16 minutes without a shot for Montreal. But the shots are 3 apiece at 5 minutes. Columbus then had a 2-on-1 that was defended, and they were lucky that it was defended, they being the Habs, because they were having a poor line change at the time. We get a power play for Columbus. That's killed off. The Habs then get a power play as well. That's killed off. And then Roslovic makes it 2-0 from Laine and Nyquist at 15:52. Evans then with a net feed. That's blocked out. Columbus gets a power play soon after that, and they score on it. It's Laine from Nyquist and Voracek at 17:22. Then the Habs get a power play, and they score on theirs as well. At 18:09, it's Paling from Suzuki and Hoffman. So it's 3-1 after 2 periods. It's pretty clear that Columbus is winning this, though. Third period, early Habs power plays killed off. Anderson has a rush chance that's kicked aside. And this is where both Pitlicks are on the same line. So there you go. Sillinger would score from Bemstrom and Blankenberg at 6:24. That's Blankenberg's first NHL point. Columbus then presses for more. Armia would whiff on one. His next opportunity was held by Elvis. Roslovic has a shot that's blocked as he was going for the hat trick. Caulfield has a rush chance saved. Elvis turns the puck over to the Habs, but he recovers, and no harm done. And then Bemstrom scores from Voracek and Sillinger at 17:38. So Bemstrom, goal and an assist for him tonight. Good, strong play for him. Sillinger on the board. A lot of the young guys on the board. Good news for Columbus's future. They win 5-1. They go to 35-33-6 with the win. Montreal 20-43-11 with the loss. The shots in this one, 10-4 Columbus in the first, 12-9 Columbus in the second, 9-8 Columbus in the third. The final shots 31-21 for the Blue Jackets. Power plays, Montreal 1 for 4, Columbus 1 for 3. The hits are 17-12 for Columbus. Montembeault 26 saves on 31 shots, and Merzlikins 20 saves on 21 shots. So overall, it's another long night for Montreal, and they're definitely playing out the string now. All right, moving along. Last game of the night. Wow. Just wow. It's something, this is kind of an amazing game. So, of course, this one starts after that one's done. So this is all done and this gets going. And I really didn't have to make that many notes because the goals make the notes for me. So it's Quick versus Kemper. It was assumed Peterson was going to start, but they went with Quick on back-to-back nights. It wouldn't have mattered who started. Wouldn't have mattered at all. Rogie Vachon in his prime could have started in this. Your score doesn't get any better. So it's Rantanen with a rush that deflects out, but then at 2:54, it's Aube-Kubel from Eric Johnson and Byram. Aube-Kubel's been excellent for Colorado. He's done his job as a depth forward, and he's definitely put in some goals. Things get scrappy then after a Kemper save, and then at 3:33, Nichushkin scores from Byram and Lehkonen. So Byram with 2 assists in the first 3.5 minutes. The shots are 6-1 at this point. And the Abs are looking for some more. Spence has a rush chance that's saved then for LA, but the Abs would get some pressure. They get a power play, and they score on it. It's McKinnon from Makar and Rantanen at 10:15. We were halfway through the first period of this game, and as far as I was concerned, it was already finished. I could not see them blowing a 3-goal lead at home. So Quick is out at that point. Peterson's in. I don't know that it's on Quick. I don't know that the end result's on the goaltending at all. I think this is a Kings team that came in. They played last night and just were overwhelmed by a Colorado team that's fantastic. Obey Kubel would score on the first shot they got on Cal Peterson, so welcome to the game. That's a 10:56 from Newhook and Taves. That wasn't a great goal, but again, if 1 out of the 9 was kind of soft. Anyway, the Avs look for more. The Kings really needed one at this point. They don't get it. Kings press with 5 minutes left. Arvidsson has a chance kicked aside. Sturm then has a net feed that's defended and cleared at the LA net. But it's 4-0 after 1. This is the first time this season that Colorado was up 4-0 after a first period. Not the first time they've had 4 goals. The first time they've had 4 goals and allowed none in a first period this year. Second period, LA does get on the board. It's Kempe from Kaliev and Stetcher at 1:43. Durzee's then denied as the Kings get some pressure. They have some momentum. Kings get a power play. That leads to a shorthanded 2-on-1. Lehkonen fires wide on that, but they did kill it off. Burakovsky with a near miss on a rush. Moore then had a wraparound opportunity. He tried to put it out in front of the net. Doesn't go to anybody on the Kings. Brown with a rush chance. That saved the Kings press, and they score. It's Iafallo from Spence and Lizotte at 10:40. And with 7.5 minutes left in the period, the shots are 14-2 for the Kings. So it's all of a sudden 4-2, but Colorado wakes up. That 4-2 goal wakes them up again. Burakovsky scores on their fourth shot of the period from McKinnon at 13:05. The Kings get a power play. Most of that is killed off. We get 14 seconds of 4-on-4, which means that the Avs have the power play after that 15 seconds is done. Stetcher prevents a Rantanen goal, but he can't prevent the Makar goal. He scores on the power play from McKinnon and Lehkonen at 18:22. So all of a sudden, it is 6-2 in favor of the Colorado Avalanche going to the third period. In the third, at 1:19, McKinnon scores again. He scores from Makar and Rantanen. It's a fast break goal. He's in all alone, and it shows there is no mercy to this game. Colorado was not letting up. That's the 8th time this season the Avs have scored 7 or more goals. Absolutely ridiculous. Nichushkin then scores from Makar at 6 minutes and 11 seconds. It's the second goal of the game. It's his 21st goal. He's setting career highs. And yeah, Avs keep control. They're up by 6. Arvidsson with a rush hits the outside of the net. And then McKinnon scores from Burakovsky at 9:52. That's the hat trick. His parents were in attendance, so that was kind of nice. Lots of hats on the ice and expensive hats on the ice. You guys throw some expensive hats on the ice. I'm not sure what you're thinking there. I've seen hat tricks live, and I kind of look and go, I brought a nice hat. I don't know that I can replace this hat. Some of those hats, I think guys must have regret. And I don't know if you have the regret as you're throwing the hat, as it's hitting the ice, or maybe a week later or months later, where you go looking up that hat and go, I got to replace that hat I lost when I had to throw it on the ice for the hat trick. It's gone. So there's probably some of that. Like, I wouldn't throw a reverse retro hat on the ice. Collected all these. Heck with it. McKinnon gets the hat trick. Nice for him. And again, parents in attendance. And that's where the We Want 10 chants start, right? The last time the Avs did it was in 95. So I looked that up because they didn't show me on TV where it was. It was 12 goals they scored in a 12-2 victory against the San Jose Sharks in the 95-96 season, which is the first year for Colorado. And that is the year that, of course, they won the Stanley Cup, the year after they left Quebec. Then Danault scores from Spence and Moore at 15:09. He scores on a rebound. That's his 23rd of the year. It's a career high for Danault. And, nice goal there. Then they had Manson wired up. And this was great. He's mic'd up, and he talked about the Chick-fil-A promo. I think it's 4 goals. If the Ducks score 4 goals, it might be 5. 4 or 5 goals, and there's free Chick-fil-A the next day. And he said if they had that promo here, people in this building be eating a lot of chicken. And he's right. This is a team that scores a ton. So I think if that promo was in Colorado, it would be, okay, anytime the Avs score 8 goals, we'll give you guys free. We're going out of business. We can't do this. So, yeah, the Avs win this one 9-3. They set a franchise record with their 53rd win. So they're 53-14-6. The Kings, 39-27-10. And everybody and their dog are going to be talking about how, hey, the Kings don't play a team that's in the playoffs from here on. Right, but you can't just assume that they're going to win every single game from here. you've got to assume that they probably lose one of them, and there are teams behind them fighting for those playoff spots. So we'll see how things go. The shots in this one, 14-8 Colorado in the first, 16-9 LA in the second, 12-8 Colorado in the third. The shots are 35-32 for Colorado. They don't tell the story. Power plays, LA 0 for 2, Colorado 2 for 2. Hits, 18-11 LA. Jonathan Quick saves 7 out of 10, and Peterson saves 19 out of 25. Kemper saves 29 out of 32. So, and pointed out too in the post-game show, when LA scores that third goal, Cogliano broke his stick over the net. So this is how competitive Colorado is. Somebody scores a third goal when they have 9, and they're ticked that that puck goes in the net. This is a different Avs team this year. It does kind of feel like they're a team of destiny, but so did Tampa in 2019, so I temper that a little bit. We'll see how things go for them the rest of the way, but I do wish them well. Let me know your thoughts regarding these games in the comment section below as always. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you're browsing your way through. You just happen upon this video. And remember, tomorrow night is Bat Crap Crazy again because every other day is really busy in the NHL. So thanks schedule makers. Thanks. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching, for all your support. I'll talk to you again soon.